Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America and deploy the bomb squads and wear hazmat suits. That's the directives being given to New Jersey mayors to tell their police forces with these drones in case they crash. Why would that be? Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please check that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@explainamerica. And when you get there, please hit subscribe absolutely free. It really helps us out. Belleville, New Jersey Mayor Mayor Melham did an interview with Harris Faulkner of Fox News where he described what he was told by New Jersey officials. Admittedly, it's not much. They're keeping these mayors, the governor himself, assemblymen and assemblywomen, senators, representatives, they're keeping them in the dark. And there's a couple things that I believe we could be dealing with here. One of them is a classified government operation, and in which case, if that's the case, I believe the government should come out and say, guys, we know what it is. It's a classified operation. We can't talk more about it than that, but it's totally safe. Let the people know they're safe, because as Melham says in this interview, you're watching these drones go over critical infrastructure, power grids, military installations. What is it? Are these drones countermeasures by us? Are we protecting against something? Are we practicing to protect against a potential attack? These are the things that, we don't know. And it would be good enough, if it's the case, for the government to just say, look, we can't tell you what it is, but we're aware of it and you're safe. That would be good enough, and it would assuage people's minds. But what Melham said in this interview that really struck me was he said that they were told as mayors of New Jersey that if one of these drones were to crash, that you're to deploy the bomb squad and everybody should wear a hazmat suit. Why? Because if it is a government project, that wouldn't be the case. What's on these ships? Do we not know what's on these ships? Does the government really not know? Because if our government really doesn't know, then I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. If our government really doesn't know what's happening here, I would feel much safer if they knew and it was okay. It was just classified. I would feel much safer. Listening to this interview with Melham, I'm not really sure what to believe. I don't think he's sure what to believe. He's just a mayor, like all the other mayors in this state, trying to do their job in a really tough situation. I give him a lot of credit for coming out there and taking this by the horns and trying to protect the residents of his town. And I trust that other mayors are doing exactly the same thing. I want you to watch this interview and let me know what you can glean from it in the comments.
Mayor Melham is the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey. Now, when you walked up to set just moments ago, you said you were just briefed. What can you tell us?
On the way here, I was on the phone with my OEM team, and we now have guidance coming from the state. And that guidance does say two different things. First of all, if there is a downed drone in our vicinity, we are immediately to call the bomb squad of our county. And second, our fire department has been instructed to make sure they wear hazmat suits.
So if something falls out of the sky that people have seen, and some of these things are as big as an SUV, if that happens, you're to treat this more than a plane crash. It's treated like an attack on the homeland?
That is correct, because they're not quite sure if there's a payload or not. And that's what we were told during our briefing on Wednesday.
Wow. So, look, you said that you were insulted by how the Pentagon and the White House, their messaging coming out. Tell me what you're hearing from them, and why doesn't it match what you were just told moments ago?
So we're being told that people in New Jersey must be crazy, that they're only seeing small aircraft, and that's just not the case. If you're on the ground in New Jersey, my residents are concerned, and they're quite alarmed because they have no idea what's hovering just over their houses. Have
you seen these?
I have.
And how would you describe it?
They are definitely small aircraft. I mean, you got to understand, a drone is considered an aircraft because it's flying in unrestricted space or restricted space. So it's considered an aircraft. These do look like a small aircraft. There's no doubt about that. They don't look like the personal drones that we're used to seeing. Mm-hmm. But they're very large, very large.
All right, let me get to this. After several lawmakers have called for authorities to shoot down the drones, now residents say that they'll just have to take matters into their own hands if the government is refusing to act. A couple of social media posts representing that sentiment now. A good shotgun will fix that problem. Another semi-automatic 3-inch Magnum, double zero, buck full shot. Let me ask you this, because also what you told me as you were sitting down, we had quite the conversation. There are several theories, and then some people based on high-level conversations, like our own New Jersey representative, Jeff Van Drew, Tony Gonzalez, congressman out of Texas, are saying they're having high-level conversations with law enforcement and also experts who are saying that there's a possibility that there's an Iranian mothership with drones. Now, you sat down and told me something even more disturbing.
Yeah, so what we're being told, we had an unprecedented briefing on Wednesday. I mean, 200 state mayors were all gathered together, and we learned exactly what the state of New Jersey learned, which is very little. But the thing that we did take away from that was that we were told very point blank that these drones are hovering over our critical infrastructure. Now, that's interesting because they're not doing any harm. They're just hovering over that. We're also told that there's no credible threat. When you start putting things together that they're telling us, critical infrastructure, no credible threat, they're unwilling to shoot them down. They're unwilling to do a temporary ban. And we can see them that they have lights on them. So something's not adding up here. It sounds like it might very well be our highest level government. It might be government assets that are being deployed as a countermeasure.
As a countermeasure. And so two things can be true. We know the timeline, according to Van Drew and others, matches when this so-called ship, mothership, whatever it is, left Iran and appeared somewhere off our eastern seaboard. Now, if it were chock full of drones and it released those drones, that timeline fits, according to Van Drew and others. So if that's the case, of course, then we would put things in the sky because the government would know. Look, it forces all of us to try to do some sort of calculation of why the government wouldn't just say something.
They have to speak. I mean, they have to be transparent. There's no doubt about that, because what else is happening is now conspiracy theories are starting to flood social media.
What happens if somebody shoots one of these down? How does the law look at that?
Well, we were advised to make sure that we tell our residents that that is not lawful. Drones are considered aircraft, and FAA, you cannot shoot an aircraft in New Jersey. So we're being advised to tell our residents not to shoot them down.
Are you worried?
We're concerned because, one, New Jersey can't act. We don't have the ability to take them out of the air.
Mayor Melham, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And all the breaking news that you brought us, too.